Right now, at this exact moment, more than 230 million Americans are in the direct path of one of the most chaotic and dangerous weather stretches this country has seen in decades. 230 million people. That is almost 70% of the entire United States population. And the most terrifying part? It is not over. Not even close. Before this video is done, I am going to give you the exact timing hour by hour of what is coming for your city, your neighborhood, and your family. Stay with me through the first 3 minutes, and I promise you this, you will know exactly what to do and exactly when. Here is something that will shock you. As of today, February 25th, 2026, nearly 45% of the continental United States is currently under drought conditions. 45%. We have wildfires actively burning in Oklahoma and Texas right now. A federal fire management assistance declaration was issued for the Oklahoma Hospital Road fire and the Oklahoma Rattlesnake fire just 6 days ago on February 19th. The Texas 8-Ball fire has been burning since February 17th, and FEMA already declared it a disaster. At the same time, Providence, Rhode Island just got buried under 38 inches of snow in a single storm. 38 inches, that is over 3 feet, and I need you to understand this. More snow is on the way, starting tonight. This is what the collapse of La Nina looks like in real time. Two completely different Americas sitting right next to each other, one on fire, one buried under ice and snow. And right in the middle, a temperature war that is about to create 100-degree temperature spreads across this country by this weekend. Let me start in the Northeast because that is where the most urgent threat is right now. The blizzard of 2026, officially called Winter Storm Hernando, dropped 2 to 3 feet of snow across the entire Northeast megalopolis on February 22nd and 23rd. The storm bombed out to 966 millibars. Hurricane-force wind gusts slammed southeastern New England. Blizzard warnings covered everything from Delaware straight up through southern New England. Coastal storm surge of 2 to 4 feet flooded low-lying communities from Delaware Bay all the way to Cape Cod. Power outages hit hundreds of thousands of homes across New England and the mid-Atlantic. The National Weather Service said it clearly. This was one of the most significant storms of the entire winter season. And then, just as people were beginning to dig out, a clipper system arrived. It crossed the Great Lakes overnight, and it is hitting the Northeast right now as you watch this. Here is the exact timing for your area. If you are in Connecticut, Rhode Island, or Massachusetts, the heaviest snow from this clipper is arriving Wednesday morning, starting around 6 in the morning and peaking between 10 in the morning and 2 in the afternoon. Expect 1 to 2 inches with a pocket near Providence, potentially picking up an additional 2 inches on top of the feet of snow you are still digging out from. If you are in New York City, you are looking at 1 inch of snow, starting Wednesday morning around 7 and tapering off by the early afternoon. Roads will be slushy and dangerous during the morning commute. If you are in Philadelphia, the clipper brushes you with a ½ inch to 1 inch of light snow through Wednesday morning, clearing by noon. If you are in Washington, D.C., you may see flurries Wednesday morning, nothing that sticks significantly, but enough to slow down the Beltway. If you are in Boston, 1 inch of snow is the expectation, arriving around 8 in the morning and clearing by early afternoon. Now here is the twist that nobody is talking about. The real impact from this clipper is not the snow itself. It is the lake effect bands that follow behind it. After the main precipitation shield moves through, the winds reorganize and crank off the Great Lakes with devastating efficiency. Let me give you those numbers. If you are in northern Michigan near Gaylord or Sheboygan, you are looking at 2 to 4 inches of additional lake effect snow through Wednesday evening. If you are in the upper peninsula of Michigan near Newberry, 6 inches of lake effect snow is the call for Wednesday into Wednesday night. That is on top of whatever you already have. If you are in Buffalo, New York lake-enhanced snow showers will continue through Wednesday and into Thursday. Expect an additional 1 to 3 inches, with localized hot spots in the typical lake effect corridors picking up close to 6 inches. If you are in Erie, Pennsylvania, similar story. 1 to 3 inches of additional snow, heavier closer to the lakeshore. If you are in Cleveland, Ohio, 1 to 2 inches of snow possible through Wednesday evening as the lake effect bands clip the southern end of Lake Erie. If you are in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, you are on the southern fringe. Expect a light coating to ½ an inch, mainly during the morning hours. Now I want to give you the 60-plus day calendar of what comes next, because this is where the video gets critically important. Stick with me, because at the 5-minute mark of this video, I am going to reveal a completely unexpected weather setup that models are signaling could bring another significant winter storm to the Midwest and the entire I-95 corridor. You do not want to miss that. Before we get there, let me cover what is happening right now in the rest of the country, because the picture is just as dramatic on the other side of this temperature war. The Southwest, the Southern Plains, and the Central Plains are sitting under a massive ridge of high pressure that has dominated this entire winter. And that ridge is baking everything underneath it to temperatures that are breaking records right now. Phoenix, Arizona. Current temperatures are approaching 90 degrees Fahrenheit. 90 degrees in February. The National Weather Service notes that the desert Southwest is seeing highs reach into the 90s that could set records this week. Tucson, Arizona, same story. Highs in the upper 80s, winds gusting 20 to 30 miles per hour, extreme fire danger. Las Vegas, Nevada. Temperatures in the mid to upper 70s, warm and dry, with fire conditions elevated during afternoon wind events. Albuquerque, New Mexico, 70 to 75 degrees with critical fire weather conditions. The Four Corners region is under extreme and exceptional drought, which is the worst 2 categories on the drought monitor scale. Denver, Colorado, temperatures ranging from the low 50s to the mid 60s through this week, well above the average of 47 degrees for late February. Dry conditions continue. Salt Lake City, Utah, 50s and low 60s through the week. Snowpack in many Utah basins is sitting below 40% of the seasonal median. That is a water crisis in slow motion. Dallas, Texas. This is where the temperature anomaly becomes almost hard to believe. Dallas is looking at temperatures from 20 to 30 degrees above average. We are talking about highs in the mid to upper 70s this week, even approaching 80 degrees by Friday. And the fire threat is real and active. Remember, the Texas 8-Ball fire has already earned a federal disaster declaration. Wildfire response in Texas right now is tracking 136% above the long-term normal. 434 wildfires burned 11,425 acres in Texas just between October and January. And spring fire season in Texas traditionally peaks between February and May. We are already in it. Oklahoma City, Oklahoma temperatures in the upper 60s to mid-70s this week. The Oklahoma Panhandle saw drone footage of multiple homes and structures burning in Tyrone just on February 17th. The Hospital Road fire and the Rattlesnake fire both received FEMA emergency declarations. San Antonio, Texas, highs near 80 degrees. Bone dry and windy. Houston, Texas, highs near 80, but some Gulf moisture is starting to try to work in from the south. Rain chances increase by next week. Lubbock, Texas, mid-70s, extreme drought continues, sustained southwest winds 20 to 30 miles per hour, peak fire danger in the afternoons. Amarillo, Texas, similar to Lubbock. Mid to upper 60s, dangerous fire weather when the wind picks up. Kansas City, Missouri, temperatures well above average this week, highs in the upper 50s to mid 60s. Wind is the story here, sustained southwest winds bringing warm air north off the ridge. Wichita, Kansas, similar to Kansas City. Low to mid 60s, very dry. Omaha, Nebraska, another city sitting under the warm ridge. Highs from the mid 50s to low 60s through this week, with wind picking up at times. Sioux Falls, South Dakota temperatures running 10 to 15 degrees above average, low to mid-50s. And here is something critical. Right now, according to the National Weather Service Weather Prediction Center, the southwestern deserts are seeing temperatures 15 to 25 degrees above average. That warm air spreads highs into the 60s as far north as Nebraska and South Dakota. But here is what changes everything by the weekend. A powerful cold front carrying an air mass that originated near Alaska is about to slam into this warmth. And when those two air masses collide, everything changes. Wind chills in parts of North Dakota and Minnesota will drop to 20 to 30 degrees below zero. That is not a typo. 20 to 30 degrees below zero wind chills. While Phoenix is hitting 90 degrees, that is the 100-degree temperature war we are talking about. Now, it is the 5-minute mark of this video. Here's the setup I promised you. Pay close attention because this one is still developing and the models are not fully locked in, but the signal is consistent and strong enough to watch right now. By Sunday, February 28th into Monday, March 2nd, the models are signaling that cold air breaking south off Canada is going to collide with that strong Pacific jet stream. That clash, combined with Gulf moisture trying to work in from the south, is setting up the ingredients for a significant storm system. The National Weather Service is already showing a 15% probability of a winter storm for the corridor between Des Moines, Iowa, and Cleveland, Ohio, for Sunday into Monday. 15% sounds low, but this early in the forecast cycle, it is a serious signal. Here is what that means for specific cities. Drop a comment below right now telling me what city you live in, and I will tell you exactly how this next system could affect you as the models come into better agreement. Chicago, Illinois. This is right in the bullseye of the Sunday into Monday signal. Models are showing the potential for a significant snowstorm tracking through the Chicago metro. Timing: precipitation would begin late Saturday night to early Sunday morning, peak through Sunday afternoon, and taper off Monday. Milwaukee, Wisconsin, very similar to Chicago. If this system develops as some models suggest, Milwaukee could see accumulating snow starting Sunday morning. Indianapolis, Indiana, southern fringe of the Sunday signal, could see snow, sleet, or freezing rain depending on where the rain and snow line sets up. Detroit, Michigan lake enhancement would pile on top of whatever this system produces. Detroit is watching this closely. Columbus, Ohio in the mix for the Day 7 outlook from Sunday into Tuesday. Cleveland, Ohio, one of the highlighted cities in the 15% winter storm probability zone. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. If the system tracks as the models suggest, Pittsburgh could see wintry precipitation by Sunday night into Monday. Now that storm energy moves east as we get into Monday, March 2nd and Tuesday, March 3rd. And this is where it gets big. Models are showing the potential for a storm corridor stretching from Chicago all the way to Boston, from Washington, D.C. north to Toronto. The potential impact zone includes Ohio, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Maryland, Delaware, New Jersey, New York, and all of New England. Some models are showing a major nor'easter. Some are showing an ice storm over the Ohio Valley. Some are even showing severe weather with possible tornadoes in the Mid-South. The uncertainty is high, but the signal is consistent. The European model and the American GFS model agree that something happens here. They disagree on exactly how it unfolds. Here is what you need to know about the individual cities in this window. New York City watching the Monday into Tuesday window very closely. If this system tracks slightly south, New York City could see a significant snow event. If it tracks north, you might see freezing rain and ice. Either way, Monday night into Tuesday morning is a period to watch. Newark, New Jersey, same timing as New York City. Monday into Tuesday, wintry precipitation possible in multiple forms. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, very similar window. The rain and snow line location will be critical for Philadelphia. Ice and freezing rain are on the table if the surface cold air holds. Baltimore, Maryland, watching the Monday into Tuesday window. Could end up on either side of the rain and snow line depending on storm track. Washington, D.C., this is a tricky setup for Washington. The capital could see snow, freezing rain, or plain rain depending on exactly where temperatures end up. Monday evening into Tuesday morning is the key window. Boston, Massachusetts. If this system develops into a nor'easter, as some models suggest, Boston would be in the heavy snow zone. Timing would be Tuesday morning through Tuesday evening. Hartford, Connecticut in the bullseye for any coastal storm that develops. Could see significant snowfall in the Tuesday window. Providence, Rhode Island. This is the city that just got 38 inches. And now there is a signal for another system by early March. If this nor'easter scenario develops, Providence could see another significant snowfall event on top of the mountains of snow already on the ground. Portland, Maine, northern New England would be in the heavy snow zone under the nor'easter scenario. Tuesday into Wednesday. Burlington, Vermont, heavy snow possible under the nor'easter scenario. Tuesday and Wednesday. Albany, New York, watching the Monday into Tuesday window. Could see significant snow accumulation under the nor'easter track. Syracuse, New York, one of the snowiest cities in America, and right in the sweet spot if this storm develops. Tuesday into Wednesday. Let me now give you the day-by-day timeline so you have absolute clarity on what is coming. Wednesday, February 25th, Clipper moves through the northeast. Snow starts early morning in the Great Lakes, spreads to Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania by mid-morning. Heaviest snow between 10 in the morning and 2 in the afternoon. Lake effect bands crank up in Michigan through the evening. Thursday, February 27th, the Clipper clears the northeast. Cold air drains in behind it. Temperatures drop across the Midwest and Great Lakes. Fire danger remains extreme across Texas, Oklahoma, and the Southern Plains. Temperatures in the Southwest continue record warmth. Phoenix near 90 degrees. Friday, February 28th, the ridge over the Southwestern Plains reaches its peak warmth. Dallas touching near 80 degrees. Denver in the 60s. Meanwhile, a powerful Arctic cold front begins charging south from Alaska through the Canadian prairies. Wind chills start dropping dramatically across North Dakota and Minnesota. Saturday, March 1st, the temperature war peaks. 100-degree temperature difference between Phoenix, Arizona, and Fargo, North Dakota on the same map. Oklahoma City still in the 70s. Fargo wind chills near 30 below zero. The battle zone sets up over the Central Plains. High wind warnings likely for Kansas, Nebraska, and South Dakota. Fire danger conditions become critical in the Southern Plains as gusty southwest winds precede the cold front. Sunday, March 2nd, the cold front crashes south through the Northern Plains and Great Lakes. This is when the Sunday into Monday winter storm signal activates. Watch the storm system developing over the Ohio Valley. If this setup plays out, snow could begin in Chicago, Milwaukee, and Minneapolis Sunday morning, spreading east through the day. Monday, March 3rd, the storm energy crosses the Great Lakes and begins to interact with cold air in the northeast. This is the window that could produce a nor'easter development off the mid-Atlantic coast. New York, Philadelphia, Boston, and the entire I-95 corridor are watching this period. Ice storm potential for the Ohio Valley. Tuesday, March 4th, if a coastal storm develops off the mid-Atlantic, this is the peak timing for the Northeast. Tuesday morning through Tuesday evening is the critical window for cities from Washington, D.C. to Boston. Heaviest snow potential for Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut, and New York. Wednesday, March 5th, the storm exits northward into the Canadian Maritimes. Cold air settles in behind it across the northeast. Meanwhile, the subtropical jet stream begins to activate across the southern plains. Thursday, March 6th through Saturday, March 8th. This is the transition window the entire country has been waiting for. La Nina is breaking down. The equatorial Pacific is warming. The subtropical jet stream is waking up. The Climate Prediction Center is already flagging above average precipitation probability for North Texas, Oklahoma, Louisiana, Arkansas, Missouri, Tennessee, and Kentucky. The first significant rain event for drought-stricken areas of the southern plains is targeting this window. Sunday, March 9th through Tuesday, March 10th, heavy rainfall likely across the south-central United States. 1 to 2 inches of rain common across North Texas, Oklahoma, and Arkansas. Localized areas of 2 to 4 inches possible, with flash flooding on the table for low-lying areas. Rivers that have been running low due to months of drought could spike quickly. Now let me address the outdoor events happening across America this week and in the days ahead, because tens of millions of people have plans that will be directly impacted. If you are attending any outdoor event in the Northeast this week, from festivals to sporting events to outdoor work, the Clipper on Wednesday morning creates a hazardous window from early morning through early afternoon. Roads will be slick, visibility will drop, and winds will create blowing and drifting snow. The Daytona 500 was held on February 16th this year at Daytona International Speedway in Florida. Florida has been dealing with extreme drought conditions and temperatures running well above average. The southeast coast is dry and warm through this week, so any NASCAR events or outdoor competitions in Florida face heat and dry conditions rather than winter weather through the end of February. The PGA Tour has events running through late February at various locations. For courses in the Southwest and California, warm and dry conditions continue with high winds at times. For courses in Florida, warm and humid air is building back in from the Gulf by late this week. No significant rain threats for Southeast Florida golf events through Friday, February 28th. College basketball is in full swing across the country. For indoor arenas, weather is no concern. But tailgating and travel to games across the Midwest and Northeast will be impacted by Wednesday's Clipper and then again by whatever develops in the Sunday through Tuesday window. Spring training baseball is underway in both Arizona and Florida. The Cactus League in Arizona faces a stretch of ideal baseball weather this week, with temperatures in the low to mid-70s, clear skies, and light winds. The Grapefruit League in Florida faces warm and increasingly humid conditions, with some afternoon shower activity returning to South Florida by Friday, March 1st. No major weather disruptions to spring training through this weekend. For St. Patrick's Day events and outdoor parades in mid-March, the pattern transition is on the table. Areas from Chicago to Boston that are watching the late February into early March storm windows need to monitor carefully. If significant snowfall occurs, cleanup timelines and public event schedules could be affected. Now let me give you the comprehensive city-by-city forecast breakdown for the rest of this week and into early March. This is the section you asked for, and I am going to deliver it. Starting in the southeast, Miami, Florida temperatures in the mid to upper 70s this week. A front approaches Friday night, bringing rain and possible thunderstorms Friday into Saturday. Flash flood watch possible for South Florida by the weekend. Dry and pleasant Sunday onward. Drought conditions remain in effect across much of the Florida peninsula. Fort Lauderdale, Florida, same as Miami. Rain and storms Friday night into Saturday. Highs in the mid-70s. Orlando, Florida, warm and dry through Thursday. Rain chances increase Friday night and Saturday as the front approaches. Highs in the upper 70s. Extreme drought remains in effect across central Florida. Tampa, Florida, warm through Thursday. Highs near 80 degrees. Front brings rain Friday into Saturday. Some localized flooding possible. Jacksonville, Florida, warm and dry through Thursday. Rain possible Friday into Saturday. Tallahassee, Florida, warmer than average through the week. Rain arrives Friday into Saturday. Savannah, Georgia, warm and dry through Friday. Georgia is dealing with severe to extreme drought. Rain from the approaching front could help, but likely not enough to break the drought. Atlanta, Georgia, temperatures in the upper 50s to mid-60s through the week, well above average. Rain chances develop Friday night into Saturday. Atlanta is under drought conditions. Charlotte, North Carolina, mild temperatures in the mid to upper 50s through this week. Rain chances increase Friday into Saturday. Raleigh, North Carolina, similar to Charlotte. Mild week, rain by Friday into Saturday. Columbia, South Carolina, warm and dry through Thursday, rain by Friday. Richmond, Virginia, temperatures in the upper 40s to mid-50s this week, rain by Friday. Watching the Monday window for wintry precipitation potential. Norfolk, Virginia, mild through Thursday, rain Friday. Then watching the Monday coastal storm potential closely. Moving to the mid-Atlantic, Washington, D.C., mild and quiet Wednesday through Thursday after the Clipper clears. Rain Friday night into Saturday as the southern front arrives, then watching the Sunday into Tuesday window very carefully for the next wintry precipitation threat. Highs this week in the upper 40s to mid-50s. Baltimore, Maryland, same pattern as Washington. Mild midweek, rain Friday into Saturday, then watching early March storm potential. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Clipper brings light snow Wednesday morning. Quiet Thursday. Rain Friday into Saturday. Then the Monday into Tuesday wintry precipitation window is a major watch. Wilmington, Delaware, similar to Philadelphia. Watching Monday into Tuesday carefully. Atlantic City, New Jersey coastal location makes Atlantic City particularly vulnerable to any nor'easter development in the Monday into Tuesday window. Trenton, New Jersey Clipper brings light snow Wednesday morning. Watching Monday into Tuesday, moving to the New York metro area. New York City, 1 inch of snow Wednesday morning from the Clipper. Quiet Thursday and Friday, watching Sunday night into Tuesday for the next potential storm. If a coastal storm develops, Tuesday could bring significant snowfall to the New York metro. Current probability low, but the signal is there and growing. Long Island, same timing as New York City. Coastal flooding was severe during the February 22nd blizzard, and any coastal storm in early March would again threaten low-lying shore communities. White Plains, New York, watching the Monday into Tuesday window. Elevation could tip snowfall totals higher than in the city itself. Bridgeport, Connecticut, Clipper brings light snow Wednesday. Watching Tuesday for the next storm. New Haven, Connecticut, 1 to 2 inches Wednesday from the Clipper. Watching Tuesday. Hartford, Connecticut, 1 to 2 inches Wednesday. Tuesday is a major watch period. Stamford, Connecticut, 1 inch or less Wednesday. Watching Tuesday, moving to New England. Boston, Massachusetts. 1 inch of snow Wednesday morning from the Clipper. Watch the Tuesday window. If the coastal storm develops, Boston could see another significant snowfall event. Timing would be Tuesday morning through Tuesday evening. Providence, Rhode Island. This city has already seen 38 inches from the February 19th blizzard plus the February 22nd nor'easter. Another 2 inches is arriving Wednesday from the Clipper. Providence could face yet another storm in the Tuesday window. The amount of snow already on the ground makes any additional storm particularly dangerous. Worcester, Massachusetts, 1 to 2 inches Wednesday. Watching Tuesday closely as Worcester typically sees higher snow totals than coastal areas in nor'easter setups. Springfield, Massachusetts, watching Wednesday and Tuesday. Higher elevation helps pile up the snow. Manchester, New Hampshire, 1 to 2 inches, Wednesday. Watching Tuesday, Concord, New Hampshire, similar to Manchester. Portsmouth, New Hampshire coastal location makes it vulnerable to coastal storm impacts. Portland, Maine, 1 to 2 inches Wednesday. If the coastal storm develops, Portland could see heavy snowfall Tuesday into Wednesday. Bangor, Maine, farther north and inland, but still in the heavy snow zone under the nor'easter scenario for Tuesday. Burlington, Vermont, watching Tuesday into Wednesday. Heavy snow possible under the developing storm scenarios. Montpelier, Vermont, similar to Burlington, moving to the Midwest. Chicago, Illinois. This is the major city most directly in the Sunday storm signal. Current probability shows a winter storm threat Sunday into Monday. Timing would be snow beginning late Saturday night to early Sunday morning, heaviest Sunday afternoon. How much snow? Too early to lock in exact numbers, but models are consistent enough to say this is not a drill. Watch this space. Milwaukee, Wisconsin, similar to Chicago. Sunday morning snow possible, heaviest Sunday afternoon, Minneapolis, Minnesota. The Arctic cold front arrives here on Saturday. Wind chills dropping to dangerous levels by Saturday night. Then watching how the storm system tracks in relation to the Minneapolis metro Sunday. Could see snow early in the event before it shifts to ice or rain further south. St. Paul, Minnesota, same as Minneapolis. Madison, Wisconsin, watching Sunday into Monday. Could end up in the rain and snow transition zone. Green Bay, Wisconsin lake effect snow will be a factor here as the cold air moves over Lake Michigan late this week and into the weekend. Duluth, Minnesota, significant cold arriving Saturday with dangerous wind chills. Watching Sunday storm potential. Detroit, Michigan lake effect snow has been cranking and will continue. The Sunday into Monday storm system could add more snow on top. Watching closely. Grand Rapids, Michigan lake effect snow continues through this week. Sunday storm adds potential for another significant event. Lansing, Michigan watching Sunday into Monday for storm potential. Flint, Michigan watching Sunday into Monday. Ann Arbor, Michigan watching Sunday into Monday. Toledo, Ohio watching Sunday into Monday. Could end up in the rain and snow transition zone. Columbus, Ohio watching Sunday into Monday and then Monday into Tuesday. Could see ice and freezing rain if the warm air overruns the cold air at the surface. Cincinnati, Ohio watching the Monday window for wintry precipitation. 58 flights were canceled at the Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky International Airport during the February 22nd blizzard. Dayton, Ohio watching Sunday into Monday and Monday into Tuesday. Cleveland, Ohio, one of the cities directly named in the 15% winter storm probability for Sunday into Monday. Lake enhancement will add to whatever this system produces. Akron, Ohio, similar to Cleveland. Youngstown, Ohio, watching Monday into Tuesday. Indianapolis, Indiana, watching Sunday. Could see snow, sleet, or freezing rain depending on storm track. Fort Wayne, Indiana, watching Sunday into Monday. South Bend, Indiana lake effect snow continues. Watching Sunday, Louisville, Kentucky, watching Sunday into Monday. Warmer air from the south may keep Louisville in rain rather than snow. Lexington, Kentucky, watching Sunday into Monday. Moving to the northern plains. Fargo, North Dakota. The Arctic cold front arrives Saturday. Wind chills will drop to 20 to 30 degrees below zero. This is dangerous cold requiring face protection and limited outdoor exposure. Highs near zero or in single digits Saturday and Sunday. Bismarck, North Dakota. Same Arctic blast arriving Saturday. Wind chills dangerously low through the weekend. Minot, North Dakota. Brutal wind chills Saturday and Sunday. Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Cold blast arrives Saturday. Wind chills well below zero through Sunday. Then watching whether the Sunday storm system clips the area with snow. Rapid City, South Dakota temperatures drop sharply Saturday as the cold front blasts through. Wind chill warnings are possible. Billings, Montana, watching the cold front arrival Saturday. Temperatures dropping significantly. Great Falls, Montana, very cold by Saturday. Wind chills approaching dangerous levels. Missoula, Montana, watching the cold front Saturday, moving to the Central Plains and Midwest. Omaha, Nebraska, warm through Friday. Then the cold front drops temperatures significantly by Saturday. Wind chills below zero, possible Saturday night. Lincoln, Nebraska, same pattern. Des Moines, Iowa. This is the other city directly named in the 15% winter storm probability for Sunday into Monday. Watching carefully, Sioux City, Iowa, cold front Saturday. Watching storm potential Sunday. Cedar Rapids, Iowa, watching Sunday closely. Topeka, Kansas, warm through Friday. Cold front Saturday, watching Sunday. Wichita, Kansas, warm and dry through Friday with fire danger. Cold front brings temperatures down sharply Saturday. Watching storm potential Sunday into Monday. Kansas City, Missouri, warm through Friday. Cold front Saturday drops temperatures significantly. Watching Sunday into Monday for storm potential. St. Louis, Missouri, watching the Sunday into Monday and Monday into Tuesday windows. Could end up in the rain and snow transition zone. Springfield, Missouri, watching Sunday into Monday. Moving to the southern plains and south central. Dallas, Texas, warm through the week. Highs near 75 to 80 degrees. Fire danger remains high through Friday. Then the cold front crashes through Saturday, dropping temperatures dramatically. Cold, windy, and dry Saturday. Watching for storm development Sunday. Fort Worth, Texas, same as Dallas. Austin, Texas, warm and dry through Friday. Cold front Saturday. San Antonio, Texas, warm through the week. Cold front Saturday. Houston, Texas, warm through the week. Gulf moisture begins to increase by next week. Rain chances return to Houston by Tuesday, March 3rd through Thursday, March 6th. Corpus Christi, Texas, warm and dry through this week. Gulf moisture increasing next week. Laredo, Texas, hot and dry, highs in the low 80s. Fire danger. El Paso, Texas, warm and dry. Highs in the low to mid-70s. Lubbock, Texas, warm through Friday. Critical fire danger. Cold front Saturday, temperatures drop 40 degrees or more. Amarillo, Texas, same dramatic temperature crash Saturday as the cold front arrives. Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, warm through Friday with fire danger. Cold front crashes through Saturday. Watching Sunday for storm potential. Tulsa, Oklahoma, similar to Oklahoma City. Watching Sunday and Monday. Little Rock, Arkansas, warm through Friday. The longer range forecast shows above average rain, likely March 5th through 10th. Little Rock is in the drought zone and desperately needs that precipitation. Moving to the Mountain West. Denver, Colorado, warm through Friday with highs in the low to mid-60s. Cold front drops temperatures sharply Saturday. Snow possible in the mountains Saturday. Watching the Sunday storm signal. Colorado Springs, Colorado, similar to Denver. Cold front Saturday. Pueblo, Colorado, warm and dry through Friday. Cold front Saturday. Boulder, Colorado, warm through the week. Cold front Saturday. Fort Collins, Colorado, warm through Friday. Cold front Saturday. Cheyenne, Wyoming, cold front arrives Friday or Saturday. Temperatures drop sharply. Wind chills will be significant. Casper, Wyoming, watching the cold front timing. Salt Lake City, Utah, mild through this week. Snowpack remains well below average in many Utah basins. Watching for any Pacific moisture that might get through the ridge by next week. Ogden, Utah, similar to Salt Lake City. Provo, Utah, similar. Boise, Idaho, mild through the week. Some Pacific moisture possible next week as the ridge weakens. Pocatello, Idaho, watching the pattern transition next week. Twin Falls, Idaho, mild and dry through this week. Moving to the southwest, Phoenix, Arizona, temperatures approaching 90 degrees this week. Record highs possible. Dry and windy with elevated fire danger during afternoon hours. Tucson, Arizona, upper 80s this week. Dry and warm. Flagstaff, Arizona, cooler due to elevation but still above average. Some moisture possible by early March as the pattern transitions. Albuquerque, New Mexico, 70s through this week, very dry. Fire danger elevated, especially in the afternoons. Santa Fe, New Mexico, mild and dry. Las Vegas, Nevada, mid to upper 70s this week, dry and sunny. Record warmth possible. Reno, Nevada, mild and relatively dry. Watching for Pacific moisture next week, moving to the Pacific coast. Los Angeles, California, mild and dry through this week. The Pineapple Express is delivering moisture to Northern California, but Southern California remains drier. Highs in the upper 60s. San Diego, California, pleasant and mild. Low to mid-60s, San Francisco, California. The Pineapple Express is pumping moisture directly into the Bay Area. Expect periods of moderate to heavy rain Wednesday and Thursday. Flash flood watch possible for burn scar areas north of the Bay, Sacramento, California. Heavy rain Wednesday and Thursday from the Pacific low pressure system. Flash flood potential for the foothill areas. Fresno, California, moderate rain Wednesday into Thursday. Watching river levels in the San Joaquin Valley. Bakersfield, California, lighter rain influence, mainly dry. San Jose, California, moderate rain Wednesday into Thursday. Oakland, California, moderate to heavy rain Wednesday and Thursday. Portland, Oregon, rain continues through the week. Normal Pacific Northwest pattern, highs in the low to mid-50s. Seattle, Washington, continued rainfall through this week. Mountain snowpack improving in the Cascades with each system, highs in the mid to upper 40s. Spokane, Washington, watching for periods of rain and mountain snow through the week. Eugene, Oregon, rainy pattern continues. Medford, Oregon, some rain influence midweek, then drying out, moving to the Gulf Coast. New Orleans, Louisiana, warm through the week, highs in the mid to upper 70s. Louisiana received a major disaster declaration from FEMA for the January 23rd through 27th winter storm. Rain chances return by next week as the subtropical jet stream activates. Louisiana is in the target zone for above-average precipitation March 5th through 10th. Baton Rouge, Louisiana, similar to New Orleans. Warm now, then watching the March 5th through 10th heavy rain window. Jackson, Mississippi, warm and dry through this week. Rain returns next week. Mobile, Alabama, warm and muggy through the week. Some rain possible by the weekend. Pensacola, Florida, warm and dry through the week. Moving to more cities across the country that need specific attention. Anchorage, Alaska, temperatures have been well above average this winter. The warm anomaly that has been sitting over Alaska and the Yukon all season is directly connected to the pattern we are seeing across the lower 48. Anchorage is watching a shift toward colder and stormier conditions as the pattern transitions through March. Honolulu, Hawaii. The Pineapple Express is pulling moisture directly from the Hawaiian Islands and funneling it into Northern California. The atmospheric river connection between Hawaii and the Pacific coast has been relentless this winter. Expect continued periods of trade wind showers for Hawaii through the end of February, moving across the interior Mountain West. Albuquerque, New Mexico. I mentioned this earlier but want to come back to it. The Four Corners region is in exceptional drought. That is the worst category. The National Interagency Fire Center is flagging above normal fire potential for eastern New Mexico and southeastern Colorado extending into Kansas for March. When the winds kick up in the afternoons, fire can spread at highway speed across the dry grasslands. This is not an exaggeration. The Smokehouse Creek fire in the Texas Panhandle in February 2024 burned over 1 million acres in a matter of days. The conditions that created that disaster are back in place right now in 2026. Farmington, New Mexico, exceptional drought continues. Fire danger elevated. Durango, Colorado. The San Juan Mountains snowpack has been running well below average. Water managers across the Colorado River Basin are watching this closely. Grand Junction, Colorado, warm and dry. Extreme drought, record low snowpack nearby. Glenwood Springs, Colorado, high fire danger in the canyon country with strong downslope winds at times. Steamboat Springs, Colorado. The ski resort is doing okay for snowpack compared to nearby areas, but still running below average. Watching for Pacific moisture to work in as the ridge weakens. Vail and Aspen, Colorado snowpack at these high elevation areas is better than the lower valleys, but still watching for pattern change to bring additional mountain snowfall in March. Moving to more cities in the Great Plains and Midwest. Hutchinson, Kansas, warm and dry through Friday. Fire danger in the afternoon hours with southwest winds. Cold front Saturday drops temperatures sharply. Salina, Kansas, same pattern. Manhattan, Kansas, watching Sunday for storm potential. Home to Kansas State University, outdoor events on campus would be impacted by any storm development. Lawrence, Kansas, similar to Manhattan. Lincoln, Nebraska, warm through Friday. Cold front Saturday, watching Sunday. Norfolk, Nebraska, cold front Saturday, watching Sunday. North Platte, Nebraska, cold front arrives Friday or early Saturday. Significant temperature drop. Scottsbluff, Nebraska, early cold front arrival Friday. Rapid City, South Dakota, dramatic cold front arrival Saturday. Temperatures could drop 30 to 40 degrees in a matter of hours. Wind chills approaching 20 below zero Saturday night. Aberdeen, South Dakota, Arctic cold front Saturday. Dangerously cold wind chills. Watertown, South Dakota, similar to Aberdeen. Pierre, South Dakota state capital, watching the cold front Saturday carefully. Moving to more Ohio Valley and Tennessee Valley cities. Nashville, Tennessee. This is one of the cities directly highlighted in the longer range forecast for above average precipitation during the March 5th through 10th window. Nashville is in drought. Heavy rain is coming in that time frame. Flash flood awareness required. Memphis, Tennessee, same window. March 5th through 10th. Heavy rain, possibly 1 to 2 inches or more. Memphis has flood-prone areas along the Mississippi River system. Knoxville, Tennessee, watching the March 5th through 10th rain window. Also watching the early March storm potential for wintry precipitation on the northern side. Chattanooga, Tennessee, warm through this week. Rain returns by early March. Huntsville, Alabama, warm and dry through the week. Watching March 5th through 10th for rain. Birmingham, Alabama, similar to Huntsville. Montgomery, Alabama, warm, dry, watching for rain return by early March. Bowling Green, Kentucky. This city sits right at the intersection of the warm air pushing north and the cold air trying to hold on from the north. The storm track that develops Sunday into Monday could bring significant winter precipitation here. Lexington, Kentucky, similar to Bowling Green. Watching Sunday into Tuesday carefully. Paducah, Kentucky. Paducah is in the Climate Prediction Center target zone for above-average precipitation March 5th through 10th. Evansville, Indiana, watching Sunday storm potential and then the March rain pattern. Terre Haute, Indiana, similar to Evansville. Bloomington, Indiana, watching Sunday storm potential. Moving to more mid-Atlantic cities. Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, 1 inch of snow Wednesday from the Clipper. Then watching the Monday into Tuesday storm window. Harrisburg sits in a location that can be caught in either snow or ice depending on where the rain and snow line sets up. Allentown, Pennsylvania, similar to Harrisburg. Reading, Pennsylvania, watching Wednesday Clipper and then Monday into Tuesday. Scranton, Pennsylvania, higher elevation means more snow potential in both the Wednesday Clipper and the Monday into Tuesday storm window. Binghamton, New York, one of the snowiest cities in New York. Watching the Monday into Tuesday window very carefully. Ithaca, New York, watching Monday into Tuesday. Rochester, New York. Lake effect snow from Lake Ontario has been running near normal. The Sunday into Monday storm and then the Tuesday nor'easter potential both factor into the Rochester forecast. Moving to more New England cities, Brockton, Massachusetts, watching Tuesday closely. Lowell, Massachusetts, watching Tuesday. Springfield, Massachusetts, higher elevation helps pile up snowfall totals. Watching Tuesday. Pittsfield, Massachusetts, highest elevation in Massachusetts. Could see very significant snow in the Tuesday window under the nor'easter scenario. Concord, New Hampshire, watching Tuesday. Manchester, New Hampshire, watching Tuesday. Nashua, New Hampshire, watching Tuesday. Rutland, Vermont, watching Tuesday into Wednesday. Newport, Vermont, the Northeast Kingdom of Vermont. If a coastal storm develops, this area could see some of the heaviest snow totals in the entire event. Caribou, Maine, the snowiest major city in the contiguous United States. Watching the Tuesday into Wednesday window. Now, I want to come back to what I said at the beginning because I made you a promise. 230 million Americans are caught in this weather whiplash right now. And here is the thing that makes this moment historically significant. We are watching the collapse of La Nina in real time. And when La Nina collapses, the pattern does not just flip at fragments. It breaks apart in different ways for different regions. And that fragmentation is exactly what creates the kind of extreme weather volatility we are seeing right now. The equatorial Pacific waters are warming back up. The warmer anomalies are building east across the central Pacific. That is eating away at the cold pool that has been fueling the polar jet stream all winter. And as the polar jet weakens, the subtropical jet stream, the one that brings the Gulf moisture and the heavy rain, that one wakes up. And when it wakes up, it activates the storm track across the southern plains and up through the Ohio and Tennessee valleys. The Climate Prediction Center has already highlighted this. By March 5th through March 10th, above average precipitation is expected for a significant area covering North Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, Missouri, Tennessee, Kentucky, and the Ohio Valley. This is the rain that drought-stricken areas have been waiting for all winter long. But there is a cost. When that Gulf moisture crashes into the retreating cold air, and there is still plenty of cold air up in Canada, that clash creates instability. It creates lifting. It creates precipitation. And on the northern side of that setup, you get snow and ice for the Northeast. So yes, the Northeast is looking at potentially more snow in the March 6th through 8th window. One more shot, one more system riding that polar jet down from the Northwest, carving a track toward the Mid-Atlantic and New England. System after system after system. That is what the Northwest flow has been delivering all winter. Here is the summary of the entire situation distilled into what matters most. If you live in the Northeast, you are not done with winter. Another clipper hits Wednesday. Another potential major storm targets the Monday through Tuesday window, and yet another system may come in during the March 6th through 8th window. Total additional snowfall possible over the next 10 days for Providence, Boston, Hartford, New York City, and Philadelphia. 8 to 12 inches above and beyond what you already have, possibly more. If you live in the Midwest, Sunday is the day to watch. Chicago, Milwaukee, Des Moines, Cleveland, Columbus. The 15% winter storm probability is not something to ignore. Get your preparations done Saturday. If you live on the Southern Plains, enjoy the warmth while you have it because Saturday's cold front is dramatic. Temperatures crash 40 degrees or more in some areas. Fire danger is critical before that front arrives Friday. After the front, the rain finally returns by March 5th through 10th. That rain could come heavy and fast. Flash flood awareness will be important. If you live in the Southwest and desert regions, record warmth continues through this week. Enjoy it, but remain aware of elevated fire conditions. The ridge finally begins to weaken by mid-March. If you live in the Pacific Northwest, the Pineapple Express continues to deliver heavy rain and mountain snow through this week. Flood watches are in effect for burn scar areas north of the San Francisco Bay through Wednesday and Thursday. One final fact that I want to leave you with because it puts all of this in perspective. 69% of the continental United States is under drought conditions right now, not 45%. A figure from mid-January already showed 69% of the lower 48 in some level of drought. Florida is under extreme drought. Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Georgia, the Four Corners region all facing conditions ranging from severe to exceptional drought. The Colorado River ran at 50% of average flow in 2025. The mountain snowpack in many basins across Utah, Colorado, and Wyoming is below 40% of the seasonal median. And right now, in the middle of all of this, wildfires are burning in Oklahoma and Texas in February. This is not a normal winter. This is a weather system under stress, and the stress is showing up in every metric at the same time. Let me address one more thing before I wrap up, because it is something that is not getting enough attention in the mainstream weather coverage right now. The wildfire situation in the Southern Plains and parts of the South is not just a short-term threat. It is a compounding crisis. 69% of the continental United States in drought. Texas wildfire response trending 136% above normal. FEMA disaster declarations already issued in Oklahoma and Texas in February. Active wildfires burning right now. And here is the part that should genuinely concern everyone living in those regions. The conditions that produced the Smokehouse Creek fire in the Texas Panhandle in February 2024, that fire burned over 1 million acres in just a matter of days and stood as the largest wildfire in Texas history. Those same three ingredients are present again right now in 2026. Drought, heavy grass fuel loads, and extreme winds. Southern Plains fires are uniquely dangerous because the terrain is flat and open. There are no natural barriers. When the wind shifts, a grassland fire can move at highway speed. You have almost no time to react. If you live in West Texas, the Oklahoma Panhandle, southwestern Kansas, or eastern New Mexico, you need an evacuation plan, and you need it now, not when the fire starts. Now. The Arctic cold front arriving Saturday will help knock down fire danger temporarily across those areas. But when the front passes and the wind shifts back to the southwest, fire danger will spike again. Then the rain arriving March 5th through 10th should provide some real relief. That is the light at the end of the tunnel. But the window between now and March 5th is a critical and dangerous one for fire conditions across the Southern Plains. I will be updating this forecast as the models come into better agreement on the Sunday through Tuesday storm system. That is the most critical development to watch over the next 72 hours. I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below with the city you live in and what you are seeing on the ground. Are you digging out from the blizzard in Providence? Are you watching the fires in Oklahoma? Are you sitting under 75-degree heat in Dallas while people 2 states away are still buried in snow? Tell me where you are. In the next video, we are going to go deeper into what happens after March 10th when La Nina fully collapses, what that means for tornado season across the Southern Plains and Mid-South, and what the pattern looks like heading into late March and April. The spring storm season is coming, and the setup is one that demands serious attention. Do not miss that video. Stay safe, stay prepared, and I will see you in the next one.